The lineup for CHSN for your Chicago Bulls coverage was announced, and Zach Lavine, one of the first ones to return for September workouts. And we got the mailbag on today's episode. Y'all know we gonna talk about it, break it all down, but you gotta hear the music first. Cognac, gang. Shy Bulls Podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on today's daily episode. If you tuned in with me today, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell as well. We appreciate the guys that called in. If you still want to be a part of the mailbag episode, you can do so too, and I'll let you know how to get involved at the end of this episode. But we about to get into this content. Now, we know that NBC Chicago, they's kind of moving on and everything for Chicago coverage when it comes to the White Sox, the Blackhawks, and the Bulls was going to be moving to a new network. That new network is CHSN, and they have announced their new lineup. The lineup will consist of Jason Goff, Kendall Gill, and KC Johnson still will remain as one of the best guys to cover our Chicago Bulls. Extremely excited for these guys. Really proud and to still have these guys moving forward into the foreseeable future covering the Chicago Bulls. So give them a lot of credit there. Now we get into the meats and potatoes. Zach Lavine was one of the first ones to return for September workouts, ladies and gentlemen. What does that mean? Does that mean that Zach Lavine completely bought in? Now we got some history with this whole situation here. We got the reports that Billy Donovan flew out to all his players, and when he flew out to Zach Lavine, they mended a bridge. Those were the words of the article, not mine. They mended a bridge. Then we also heard that the front office, they were more on the side of being okay with having Zach Lavine on the squad. They were more on the side of, hey, right now, the deals that we've been receiving are just not good enough. And we also heard that there are a lot of teams that don't even want Zach Lavine. So the Chicago Bulls came to a decision at what it at least appears for right now. They wanted to mend the relationship with Zach Lavine. They wanted to make sure that they get this thing nipped in the bud with Zach Lavine because they know that Zach Lavine is going to be on this team for some time. However long that may be, we still don't know. But we do know is that Zach Lavine will remain on the team, you know what I'm saying, at least for some time. Now, the problem, it's only one problem I got. Chicago Bulls social media. Again, I got to call you out again. Post this stuff on social media so we can find out. We found out through this. We found this out through KC Johnson, Chicago Bulls. Just do a little clip and say, hey, arriving for September workout. Boom, Zach Lavine walking into the facility. Very simple. And then you don't even just have to include Zach Lavine. All you got to do is say, hey, we get into work. For the title, we get into work. And then you're going to have players just walking in, we get into work for September. Maybe a few clips here and there of some workouts. Maybe just a minute long. Do the job correctly. Do the job correctly because you don't know how this situation is going to go with Zach Lavine. He can very well be bought in right now, and then Billy Donovan and Nikola Vucevic can take him off again. And you want the perception to be good around him. Right now, the perception and the way that people view Zach Lavine is not good. So you gotta get on board. Come on. Promote this team. Promote these guys. You want the best thing out there right now without these guys. And regarding Zach Lavine, I say this is a great way to start it off, my guy. I'm really happy to hear this, but we still got to hold you accountable to say we need to see it on wax. I believe this team is made for Zach Lavine and his play style. I really do. And it's going to open up a lot of things for him. He's either going to rise in this situation or fall in this situation. We already came to the conclusion that Zach Lavine, to start last season, before he was sat down for the rest of the year, he kind of BS'd us on some playing. You know what I'm saying? Why he was playing. Body language wasn't there. Production wasn't really there. Engagement in my mind wasn't really there. You know what I'm saying? It could have been injuries. But hey, if you're on the court, we got to evaluate you. We have to evaluate you as if you are healthy enough to give the team something. But this move right here from Zach Lavine is a really good move from him. I'm happy to hear this. I hope we can continue to move on forward. I hope that the Chicago Bulls can figure some things out, because I think that the team is better with Zach Lavine on it, no matter if we want to see him traded, because he wanted out. You know what I'm saying? But like C-Dub has placed out there plenty of times, even when Zach Lavine said he wanted to be traded. Are you sure? Or is it just a move to get the coach out the way? We don't know. So the thing is, we got to take this team for what it exactly is. And this is what we got. This is how we going into the season. And I'm happy to hear that Zach Lavine is with the squad for the moment. If he remains for the entire season, cool. If he's here for 41 games, 42 games, cool. But at least this is a good start to say that, or at least give an idea that Zach Lavine is going to be ready. We will have to see it on the court. We will have to see what he's really, really made of once the games get to playing again. But for now, we take it as a dub. We take it as a dub. Shout out to Zach Lavine for doing that one. But hey, now it's time to get on into the mailbag aspect of this episode. We're going to get this thing started. The first one up is from Sane.
Hey, what's up? My name's Simon. This is my first time calling, man. I'm calling because I'm so tired of hearing about Zach this, Zach that, Zach all. He doing everything wrong. And when they get through talking, it ain't no damn Zach. It's the front fucking office. The front office don't know what the fuck they doing. These motherfuckers had Jimmy Butler and didn't know what to do with Jimmy. When they had Jimmy, they didn't know how to build around him. That's why they got rid of him. So when a motherfucker gets to talking about Zach this, Zach that, they need to shut the fuck up, because it ain't Zach. Everybody need to look at the fucking front office. And Iowa, if they get rid of Iowa, I'll never watch the Bulls again. Peace out, brothers.
All right, so I appreciate you for calling in. I don't know if you said Simon or same. So make sure you correct me down below. I want to show love appropriately. But I will say this. I disagree with you on your take, my guy. Now, you are absolutely correct when you say we need to look at the front office. Where you're wrong at, in my opinion, is when we say we shouldn't look at Zach Lavine. I'm going to totally disagree with you. Everybody that's a part of this squad right now has a hand in what has transpired with the Chicago Bulls. Zach Lavine, he hasn't been the player we expected him to be the last 2 seasons. The front office, you are absolutely correct. They have done things so stupid that we got to call them out on ABS too. We will call them out on ABS. And we have called them out on ABS. But Zach Lavine ain't escaping none of this smoke either, my guy. Zach Lavine is not going to escape none of the smoke. None of it. When it comes to how we going to look at the basketball squad, we do love Zach Lavine. We do believe he's a talented player. But Zach Lavine got to live up to the bill too. You know what I'm saying? And last season, for 25 games, my man's averaged 19 points, bro. He's a 24.25 per game scorer. He scores 24 to 25 points a game. He gave us 19 in 25 games. He averaged 19 points for the 25 games he was there last season. Are we going to give Zach Lavine a pass for that? The money man. If that's acceptable in your eyes, I'm going to still disagree with you. Now, the last part is when you talked about Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, for all things considered, was a problem, bro. He was a problem. I understand that. I agree with you. I don't believe that the Bulls should have chosen Fred Hoiberg over Jimmy Butler, but we cannot deny that Jimmy Butler was a problem. That's why when he got traded to Minnesota, he wasn't there long because he was a problem. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't, though Jimmy Butler has had his success and has brought the Miami Heat to 2 finals. One, he didn't close the finals deals. And before he went to Miami and embraced Heat culture and got great coaching behind him, we was just playoffs and out, right? Playoffs and out. And it's still kind of the same because we talking about Jimmy Butler as if he's always there. You know what I'm saying? All these runs from the 8th seed to the finals, how do they look when they get there? Exhausted, drained, because Jimmy Butler didn't place an emphasis on the regular season to get a high enough seed to where maybe he can coast towards the end of the season and then whoop on some lesser teams and then build your way up to having that endurance and that energy to compete in the finals. He lacked in that. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Respect you for calling in, but obviously we got a few disagreements. But it's all basketball. Much love to you, man. Then we ain't always got to agree. Much love to you. But, ladies and gentlemen, we move on for now. And the next one is from Shay.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Look, I think that Josh Giddey, there could be a little bit of a problem. Look, I know he's a good playmaker and all that, but you definitely need shooting when you are around him. I don't think we have consistent enough shooting. And then you need somebody who can play defense, and then we basically are running into more problems than what we saw with having him on the team. That's just my opinion, but I could be wrong. Anyway, tell me what you think. Peace.
All right, so we heard from Shay, not really a believer of Josh Giddey. Look, I'm going to say this. I don't know what Josh Giddey is going to turn out to be. And what I mean by that is he's going to be a all-star caliber player, or is he just going to be a decent point guard? Or can he eventually elevate himself to being one of the type guards in the Eastern Conference and then in the NBA? I don't know. What I do know is the guy has playmaking ability. You say that there's some concerns with the shooting around him, so you don't know how productive he's going to be, and then you're questioning the defensive side of things. And I believe it's fair, but I will say this. Kobe White, solid three-point shooter. Zach Lavine coming back, solid three-point shooter. Patrick Williams, 40% shooter from the three-point line. Ayo Dosunmu, 37%. He got the shooters around him. Then Nikola Vucevic. He has declined in a three-point shot. He has, all right, but it's still an option for him. And then when you talk about the slashing ability of Kobe White, the way that Kobe White can go ahead and get his own shot, the same thing can be said about Zach Lavine. The same thing can be said with feeding Nikola Vucevic. And then you still got young guys that can still potentially come out of help. The 6-man off the bench, he's going to benefit a lot from Josh Giddey if Ayo Dosunmu and Josh Giddey see time together. They're going to benefit together, and it's going to be good, in my opinion. Now, I'm not going to go out here and say that they're going to win a bunch of games, but I say the play style will be a lot smoother. So I do understand the reservation that you have, but I will say, with all things considered, he has the guys that can shoot. He has the guys that can play defense, and Ayo Dosunmu, Patrick Williams, Dalen Terry's pretty decent. Kobe White is all right. Zach Lavine can buy in. He's okay. Jalen Smith is more of a better rim defender than Nikola Vucevic, but Nikola Vucevic can provide you maybe something. Maybe I think that kind of sounds crazy. I don't know. But they got to figure it out, and there's no excuses for anybody on this squad. But I do understand the reservations. But thanks for calling in, Shay. Appreciate you, my guy. All right, y'all. The last one up for this episode is R-Dub. Here it is.
What's the deal, Cognac family? R-Dub here. Calling, going to the job, sitting here thinking about something that we don't really talk about, but I wanted to know, because I feel like this is a question that really needs to be answered. What is going to be our official second unit? It it don't sound like it's a crazy question right when you hear it, but when you really think about it, what is going to be our official second unit? Because if we got Ayo coming off the bench, maybe he's going to be the sixth man. Well, I'm already assuming he's going to be the sixth man. He got the energy, he got the hustle, he got the game to go ahead and be our sixth man. But what is going to be our official second unit? Like, is Lonzo Ball going to be heading our official second unit as far as the point guard position? Let me know what y'all think.
For sure. Appreciate you, R-Dub, for calling in, my guy. You always call in with the great takes or the great questions. Now, when it comes to the second unit, man, I think Lonzo Ball might be the head of that one. But I will be not 100% real if I said that Ayo Dosunmu should be the head of that second unit. The emphasis should be Ayo Dosunmu. The reason I believe that the emphasis should be Ayo Dosunmu is because he's the much healthier player. He's going to be the more better player to come off the bench. He's going to be the guy that can initiate the offense, and he can work off ball. He might be the best defender on that second unit when you think about it. In the second unit that I'm talking about in my mind that I believe is going to be out there, we're going to say Lonzo Ball, Ayo Dosunmu, Montes Buzelis, Dalen Terry, and Jalen Smith. That's your five. Ayo Dosunmu is the best player of that second unit. The emphasis should be on him. Lonzo Ball should help recreate everything. And the reason I'm saying that Ayo Dosunmu will be the best defender out of that group is simply because Lonzo Ball, I believe, and I hope he proves me wrong, is because of the injury, he's not going to be as good as a defender as he once was. I hope he proves me wrong, though. So in that moment, I'm going to say Ayo Dosunmu right now before I see any basketball played, because it very well could go to Jalen Smith, but I'm going to say Ayo Dosunmu, the best defender on that second unit. And then the three-point shot that he's going to be able to give him, it's all a win. It's all a win. But that's a very good question because we still not talking about other guys. Chris Duarte. We're not talking about any of these other guys that might make the team. Kenny Lofton Jr. or somebody like that. We don't know yet. But at the moment, that's who I'm going to roll with. I'm going to roll with Lonzo, Ayo, Montes Buzelis, Dalen Terry, Jalen Smith. I don't know how it necessarily works. Kind of sound crazy. I ain't going to lie to you, but figure it out. Shit, it's Billy. Figure it out. Figure it out. But hey, that is it for me today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode. If you want to be a part of an episode like this one here, make sure you hit the number. Call in, state your name, leave your take, and we going to put you on the episode. The number to call in is 773-242-9219, and you can also find it in the description below. Thank y'all so much, Bulls Nation. Make sure you always see red, and y'all already know. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Cognac. Gang.